want to show you the musical lessons I've learned that had the biggest impact on my practice and my playing in 2024. I want to present these great artists that I learned from, and hopefully you can and will gain as much as I have from these amazing artists. Let's dig into an amazing 2024 learning experience. In this video, Metheny is doing his warm-up before he have to do a workshop. And I'm totally stunned about how this amazing, endlessly stream of musical ideas just comes out. It starts very slow with some arpeggios and ends up with a never-ending musical line. If you write this down, you have a perfect etude. To do this, take an amazing tune you like Autumn Leaves. I really like Autumn Leaves because it takes you through all the chords in the key. Play some basic chords in a basic exercise like Frahm. But think of it as a classical etude. This really forces you to play with a strong tone. Now change the approach. Keep playing the chord tones, but make it into a much more melodic phrase. This makes it much more fun to play and you get a really strong melodic sense. And the bigger jumps in the etude-like forms makes you have amazing breath support. You need great tone. And the loose timing and the loose form gives you time to think about the sound you make. Always play in a musical way. So what I learned from Metheny is whatever you play, even your warm-up, make it musical. Make music out of it. In the lesson manual PDF on Patreon, I have of course put all the examples of this lesson. There's a lot of different exercises and they are all concerned about the topics I've done in all 2024. So look back, check out what you need. Download it on Patreon, the link is in the description.
I get out the horn and I kind of start playing and I run into whatever that limitation is and try and figure out a way to solve it.
The next step, Chris Potter. What he's saying here is just play. When you meet a challenge in the material you're playing, stop and fix it. Here's how. Take a standard just as before and start playing. This is a great tune of Take the A Train. I've written out this line, of course, because else I can't show it to you. So I'm playing here some quite intricate stuff. But thinking about the execution, can you actually play it perfectly? When I look back at this line, there's definitely some stuff I want to check out more. For example, the first bar. Just take these 3 beats. Let's say this is difficult. Let's practice this. Put it into an exercise. Because then you can take a closer look at the material, turn it around, feel it, taste it. Take it out of the context and practice that. Focus on this and fix it immediately. When you use this Chris Potter approach, the relation between what you play and what you practice becomes so much more connected. Michael Brecker, of course. This eye-opener really did a huge difference in my practice. In the Michael Brecker practice book, 2 sentences really struck me hard. The timing is in your fingers and play with strong fingers. Take any phrase, any solo, any exercise. Play it in a version where you only think about the timing of your fingers. And execute the exercise or the solo line as precise as possible, only timing in your fingers. Keep the focus on the click of the saxophone. And always remember what Michael Brecker wrote down. Press hard because this means you feel the timing in your fingers. Doing this took my precision and my timing to the next level.
And it's okay to really go slow, you know, it's okay to really slow something down and be really honest with yourself about if you can't do something, let's really just get it down to the tempo that you can.
Which brings me to another great learning moment for me, meeting Joel Frahm. I didn't meet him personally, I met him on YouTube. I just want to do a short shout out to Jay Metcalf for an amazing interview and amazing YouTube channel. Thank you for letting us meet Joel Frahm and thank you for your amazing videos. All exercise, all playing, all practice must be done in a slow tempo to become a part of you. What Joel Frahm is describing is the essence of muscular training. And when we're playing music, we constantly work with this. Hearing, analyzing, muscle movement and reflection. This means we're working very intensely between muscle memory and our reflection of the music. So we need to remember what we're doing and relate that to our fingers. For example, this exercise taken out of the previous lick on Take the A Train. It's rather complex with the rhythm and the enclosure between the bars. To fully understand how your fingers should move, how the rhythm moves, and how the full execution of the lick moves, the absolute best way to master this is go slow. You cannot get around Joe Henderson when you are talking about modern jazz saxophone. Joe Henderson taught me how important groupings of 3 is in jazz. This exercise is practicing groupings of 3. And really, to get this pattern, start practicing like this. Go slow in the beginning, what Joel Frahm says. But why would you practice groupings of 3? Or in the case of this lick, groupings of 6, 2 times 3. Because you get these beautiful lines that moves over the bar line, and you get these odd resolves that seldomly hits the 1. And for those 2 reasons, I decided to practice much more in groupings of 3. I get much more interesting lines moving over the bar line, and I'm trying to resolve not on the 1, but I'm moving around where my resolve is, not hitting the 1. There's this new cat out, Ryan Devlin, or he's new to me. Ryan Devlin is definitely inspired by John Coltrane. And I want to bring out a lot more videos on him. And one of the things I directly learned from Ryan Devlin just by looking at his videos was changing my posture. He's not hanging over the horn when he's playing, like me. He's basically standing straight up, even a little bit leaned back. Shoulders low, shoulders back, shoulders above the hips above the feet, and lean back, breathing a lot. This posture enables me to play with a much stronger tone. My breathing seems unhindered and my fingers are able to move much more subtle on my saxophone. I have not internalized this posture yet, but I'm working on it very hard because it helps me so much. I constantly keep leaning over the saxophone into this crooked position, but I'm learning. Stay on it, keep the great posture, play with amazing sound. Not only Michael Brecker and Chris Potter are telling us this, everybody in the music business is telling us this. All keys are important because many tunes are in different keys. And then there's the different chords you can play if you know the keys. Take this 2-5-1 in D. Throughout the whole line we just play a normal 2-5-1 in D major, everything is D major with a couple of chromatic approach notes. So what if I want to use one of Coltrane's favorite dominants, the G minor C7, the backdoor dominant 2-5? This demands that we learn the F major scale. How about if we want to use the tritone substituted dominant 2-5? When playing the tritone substituted dominant 2-5 in D, you need the A flat key. Learn all keys because it widens your horizon in what you can play, what tunes you can play, and what different progressions you can insert in your playing. This made me think about how I practice my scales. Earlier I would just have practiced the scales just up and down. The arpeggios up and down, up and down. But I learned this is not the real way. This way of practicing technique doesn't resemble reality, at least not the jazz I try to play. What I do here is take different progressions from tunes I play or from ideas I have and put them directly into my technical exercises. I'm interchanging the D major and the E flat 7, the tritone substituted dominant, moving those up the scale. And then when I play any lick or any tune, it's already there. I can already think the 2 different keys together. I think I could have been doing this for hours and hours to go, everything I learned in 2024. But I'll stop here. If you want to dig into all these amazing playing and practice strategies, you should definitely check out what's happening on Patreon now. Everything is available. There's more than 4,000 pages of learning material for you available on my Patreon right now. The link is right here. Download it all. I really like to talk about practice and how you should practice and how you should play, but the masters say it so well. Check out this video featuring Chris Potter. I'm digging into how to play what you hear. Play music. Have fun.